Yeah. In this session, I will try to show you uh, how to write programs in IDE. So here I'm using IntelliJ IDE. So the IDE called as IntelliJ IDE, and in this we are going to write the programs, Scala programs, and we shall see how to create a project, how to write the program, how to compile them, execute them. At the same time, we shall learn the concept of the Scala. Okay. So after the IntelliJ, I think you know about the installation of IntelliJ. If not, I will send a video about how to install this. So no problem. So once the installation is done, we need to create a project. So when we are going with any IDE, first try to create a project with some build tool. Remember, okay, whether it is Spark project or Scala project or any project in real time, we have to go with what creation of a project with some automated project builder tool. Okay, so like my one, SBT, Groovy, all these are the different project builder tools. Okay, so different build tools. So here I'm trying to go with the Scala with the SBT build tool, SBT project build tool. SBT stands for simple build tool. Okay, SBT is the build tool and Scala is the language. This is the combination I'm choosing to create the project. And next, and give some name of the project. Scala Hartik, Scala Orthic Scala, and what is the Java version that we are using. And that I one more point here, this IntelliJ doesn't work without Java, remember. So the latest version of this IntelliJ idea, it needs Java 8, Java version 8, remember. Okay, so if Java is already installed, choose that path JDK. You have to choose the JDK path here by selecting new. You have to choose the JDK path in C drive. It will be installed in program files. It will be under program files, and in this the directory called as Java. In this will have JDK. Okay, you have to select this one and click OK. Okay, if you do not have already have it, if you do not have it, you have to choose that JDK. And SBT version can be anything, and you can choose the Scala version, any version of Scala that you want. Okay, with the two dot, when you see this, when you here in the drop down menu, you have all the versions of the Scala. You can choose any one version of Scala here. Okay, just let me go with the 2.11.8. Why? Because Spark, we are going to use this what we call as a Scala version. So click finish. After it's done, click finish. So a project is going to get created now. Okay, in this IntelliJ IDEA, a project is going to be created here.
వెంకటేష్ అంట అర్జెంట్ అంట నేను క్లాస్ అయ్యాక తనే ఫోన్ చేస్తానన్నారు.
So just close it, and in the very bottom, right bottom, you can observe something here. Three processes are running here. Okay, if we just click on them, just you will see what's happening in the background. So it will take sometimes, if it is for the very first time, it will take few minutes to create the project structure. To create a project structure, okay, that SBT will create the project structure for it. It will take few minutes. Just be patient and just relax for some time. It will take, depending upon your internet speed, it is going to create the project. Okay, so and when you are using this build tool, compulsory use internet and try to have internet connection. Without internet connection, you will, and many issues will arise. Okay, let this be completed. So after this gets completed, we have to start programming. It won't take more than not more than few seconds. Yeah. mm, yes, it is done almost. It's done almost in a few seconds. In 5 to 10 seconds, it is going to get finished. So this I have been using many projects in this IDE. That's the reason it took very few seconds to complete this process. If it is very for the very first time, it may take some time, few minutes. Don't get panic. Wait for some time. Okay, it will be done. So wait till this gets completed. Okay, just let's minimize this. Updating local IV cache. Yes, it is done now. Just hide this now. So this is the project structure. Just unfold this. Arctic Scala. This is the project just we have created. And this is the project structure that is created by this builder tool, SBT builder tool. Okay. So where we need to write the programs, how to write the and where to write the programs. So here in this project structure, we have something called as SRC, a directory called as SRC. Unfold this, and under this SRC we have one more directory called as main. Again unfold it. We'll have a Scala here. SRC main Scala. So this is the hierarchy of directories where we need to write the programs actually. So in this project, the very first thing is under this Scala, create a package first. Create a package, not directly the program. Create a package. So right click on the Scala directory and choose new package. So can we call as com, or you can use arg.com dot arctic dot scala, and just click OK. So a package will be created here, and right click on the package. Now choose Scala class. Choose Scala class here, and in this choose object, not class. Choose object. Let me say some demo one. Let me call this demo one. Okay. So this is going to create a template. You can see here object demo one is going to be created. So in this we need to write the program def main and args. What are that we have written yesterday? Yesterday we have written the programs in the text editor, right? Now we are writing in this IDE. That's it, very simple. So def main args array of string colon unit equal to, we can simply write println some welcome to Scala IDE. Just this is the statement. I'm writing only one statement here, and after this, so how shall I compile this program and how shall I run this program? So what is the the command that we have used for compiling a Scala program yesterday? Yeah, what is that? What was that? After writing the program, we have compiled that program, Scala program. What is that command? Scala C. Scala C and file name. Okay. In this we need not do anything. Just right click on this editor itself. We have in this editor, right? So right click on this editor, and you will see something called as run demo one here. Run demo one or recompile. So if you click on this recompile, it is going to create this. Is going to compile this program. You can see in the very bottom the process that is going on here. Okay, it is compiling the program. So is the very first time, it will take few seconds or few minutes. Don't get panic. Wait first. So the compilation is done. You can see in the left bottom, compilation completed successfully in 19 seconds. Okay. So after this compilation is done, right click on the same editor and click on run demo one. This is going to run this program. Okay. Run demo one. That's it. That's it. I think could not find or load main class com.hardik.skull.demo one. Suppose if you encounter with this issue, so you will find this error only for the very first time. So Java library is not able to load properly. That is the reason it may show this error here. So in that case, do only one thing: go to File, close project, and reopen the project. Nothing else. Just close and reopen. That's it. The project is going to get refreshed, and everything will work fine. Okay. So some process going on here in the bottom. Just wait for a few seconds. It will be finished quickly. It will be finished very quickly. After that is done, we shall run the program. This is all about refreshing the project. You can see here the project is getting refreshed. Refreshing Hardik Scala SBT project. So once we refresh the project, everything will work fine. Okay, no need to get panic. Which is almost done. So if you see something lastly called as local IV cache, it is an indication that the process is about to complete. Now after this is done, right click on the editor and run demo one. This is going to run the program. And we have to see the output to be displayed as welcome to Scala IDE. Okay, can you see this now output here? This is a console, output console, where we can see the output of the program that we have written here. Got it now? So when the application, when the program gets executed successfully, it returns a code called as it returns a code 0, exit code 0. So welcome to Scala. This is very simple program. Already we have written the program yesterday itself. The thing is, here I'm trying to show how to compile and how to run in IntelliJ IDE. Okay, now that's it. Write a program, compile it, and we can run it. You will see the output here itself. So no need of using Scala C or no need of using Scala compilation and execution. Nothing can, everything we can do in this IDE only. Got it? Now any questions in this? Yeah, do we have any questions? Anyone got any questions in this? Please let me know, otherwise I will go with the next part of our discussion.
No questions.
Yeah.
No questions, sir.
Yeah,
Please proceed.
fine. Now I would like to create one more program. What shall I do now? So I go with the package. Okay, and new, right click on the package and choose new Scala class and choose object. So in the coming up sessions I will introduce you to what is the class and what is the trait, everything. But for now, for few sessions, let us go with object only. Okay, why I'm using this object, why not class, why what is the trait to class, how to when to use what, I will let you know all these things in coming up sessions. Okay, but for a few sessions, maybe this entire week, we shall go with this object only, so that we get the idea of basic programming of Scala. So choose object, and what do you want the name of the program to be? I call it as demo2. Demo2 here. Okay, now just let me hide this. On the right side, you have this something called as arrow symbol pointing downwards. So just click on this, it is going to be hidden. That's fine. Now here I have to write a program. So to write a program again, I need to write main method. Def main args, or instead of args I can use simply a or whatever you want, arg, or you can use arg. This can be anything, right? Array of string, sorry, string t, or of t, sorry, string colon unit equal to, open this. Now here I'm in the, I will try to show what are the different types of data that we can store in Scala language. Okay, let me show you. Well, I told you yesterday we create a variable by using two keywords. What are those two keywords? Val and var. So we create a variable by using either of two keywords, val and var. Val a colon, I use I here, val I colon int equal to. So what is the meaning of this word is, I is a variable, I is a variable in which we are trying to which we are trying to assign an integer value. Let me show you that. 20. Okay, and val f colon or l colon long equal to some 30. It must be ended with a long value, must be ended with a capital R or small l. No, well, sm or sh short equal to some 10. Next, val f colon float float equal to some 2.34 f, and val d colon double equal to some 3.456 453, something like this. Now val s colon string equal to, let us a scala program. Next after this, val c colon char equal to, so a character must be enclosed between single quotes. And anything else? Yes, we have one more, val b boolean equal to, the value can be either true or false. Okay, so these are all the, what are these actually, you know what should we call this? I, L, S, H, F, D, S, and C and B. These are the variables or references. I'm repeating the statement. I, L, all these are called as the variables or references. Variable is okay. What reference to what? They are referring what? Okay, I'm telling you, with this statement, what will happen with this statement? Okay, with this statement, so an integer object will be created. This is very important, try to understand this one. An integer object will be created in memory, only, in memory, which holds an integer value 20, which holds the integer value 20. Okay, and this object is referred by I here, referred by I. So this statement is going to create internally an object. What is the object? An integer object. What is the meaning of integer object? An object which is meant for storing integer values, that is called as integer object. So this statement is going to internally create an integer object. Okay, and that object is going to store 20 into it. It is going to hold 20. And what is this I then? Then I is a pointer, or I is a reference. I is a reference which will refer to the object that got created in memory. Remember this. Okay. So with this statement, 20 is this. 20 is nothing but actually what is happening suddenly. An object will be created and 20 will be held by that object. And this I will be pointing, or I will be referring to that 20 object. That object which is holding 20. Okay, and this colon int, what is this colon int? This colon is nothing but which type of object, to which type of object this I is referring to which type of object this I is referring to, that will have to specify by using colon int. So I is a variable which is referring to integer object. This is the meaning of it. And what is the integer? What is that value that object is holding? 20. Okay, now similarly the case with remaining all the statements here. So with this statement, what will happen with this statement? Second, while L long equal to 30, so internally a long object is going to be created and 30 will be held by that object, and L will be the variable or reference referring to that object in memory. Got it? So you have to understand this very carefully. So if you simply write here 20, do not assume, do not misunderstand that this 20 is, do not understand 20 as a value here. This 20 is not value here. Actually internally it is going to create an object. I'm telling you, I'm repeating the statement again and again, try to understand it. Okay, so with this, it is going to be created as an object. It is going to be created as an object, remember that. Just let me try to explain in board if possible. Mm, Let me use this. This is the basic concept and very very important concept, remember. Yeah, so if I write a statement like this, val some x colon int equal to some 45, what is going to happen with this statement is, internally an object will be created. Okay, and that object will hold the data 45 as integer object, and this object will be referred by x, remember. This is what is going to happen generally. What say generally, if you say people int x equal to 5, no, what generally what do people say? 5 will be stored into x. No, that is not going to happen, remember. So that's not going to happen. Whether it be, I don't know whether it's true or false in other programming languages, but that is not the case in Scala programming language. So 5 will be loaded into x. This is not true. Okay, I'm not talking about any other programming language. I'm talking about on the Scala language. This is not true. So what is going to happen is internally an object will be created and 45 will be loaded into it, and the x will be pointing to that 45. So this is the reason I'm calling the x as a reference here. A reference to what object here? Integer objects that we are specifying with this. Got it now? And what is this val? What is this val? Okay, this val, if I write something as var here, var some y colon int equal to 60. Let us say like this. So we can create a variable like this also, either by using keyword var or keyword val. We can create. So what is this val and what is this var? These two define mutable or immutable nature of the variable or reference. Mutable or immutable nature. We'll try to discuss what is the immutable nature of this object. Immutable and mutable nature of what? X and y. X and y are what? References or variables. Okay, mutable and immutable nature of the references. Is it clear, guys, about this? What happens with this statement? Okay, this is what that is going to happen internally in Scala programming. Clear? Any questions here? Now, so here I use one more. I use var here. Var some p colon int equal to 60. So it doesn't throw any error. I told you all, we have discussed already. A variable can be declared either by using var or by using val keywords. Now let us try to understand what is the difference between a var and a val. Okay. Now var some q colon string, or I use boolean. So let me take this value as true or false. Let me take it as false. So boolean in the sense it will take only two values, either true or false. Okay. So what is going to happen with this var and what is going to happen with this val? Okay, let me explain that. This is very very important. Consider it carefully. Very very, very important. Because most people are, they get confused with this concept, basic concept. Okay. Now val a colon int equal to 40 and var b colon int equal to 50. So what happens is, when we use the keyword val, it is going to create, this will create an immutable reference. This will create an immutable reference. So which is the immutable reference here? A is the immutable reference or immutable variable. Now a will be created as an immutable reference, and when we use the keyword var, this variable v, it will be created as mutable reference. It will be created as mutable I'm telling you, reference. Do not call it as, object. These are not going to create mutable or immutable object. Most of the people say that if you use val, it is going to create immutable object. If you use var, it is going to create mutable object. No, that is not true. That is 100% false. Okay, the only thing is, it is going to create immutable reference. This a will be created as immutable reference, not the object here. Remember, not the object here. The variable will be created as, our reference will be created as immutable, and with this, if you use a keyword var, this variable will be created as mutable reference. Okay, but now the question here, what do you mean by this immutable or mutable reference? What do you understand? What is that? Okay, this is very important. Now try to understand this one. So with this statement, what will happen? Okay, let me just explain here itself. Now this is immutable, right? This is immutable, and this creates mutable reference. So A is a immutable reference, and A is an immutable reference. B is mutable reference. Now with this statement, just now as we discussed, what is going to happen is internally an object will be created and 40 will be held by that object, and this A will be referring to this 40. Got it now? Okay. Now if I say something like this, what is that? A equal to A plus 10. What do you mean by this? What do you mean by this? A equal to A plus 10. So if I write something like this, int z equal to x plus y. So which side of this is the statement, right? Isn't it? We have left hand side and right hand side. Which part will be executed first, right? Left side or right side in this statement? Which will be executed first, left or right? Right side part, right? So x plus y will be computed first and the result will be assigned to z. That has been created in the memory has any name. That's what I'm telling. The name, no, do not call it as a name. Do not call it as a name. Okay, that is a reference. That is all as a reference. The name is nothing but a here. That's what I'm telling here. Okay, the reference in the sense it is a name. Okay, then we call it as a name, but do not use that name or something like that. Okay, we are technical guys, we have to use technical words always. The people who are not good at programming, if they are, simply they know the program, they call it as name. And what is this, what is that? No, don't call like that. As a technicals, we have to use technical terms only always. Okay, so a is referring to 40. So a equal to a plus 10. What is going to happen with this? Okay, so internally, so I'm writing the statement here, a equal to a plus 10. What is 10 and what is a here? What is 10, what is a? What is going to happen? So a is already referring to 40, it is there already. So a is a variable, right? It is a reference. It is already referring to an object whose value is stored as 40. And with this, what is going to happen is a new object will be created. Remember, a new object will be created which will hold the value 10. Okay, and now with this statement, what is going to happen is after creation of this, the value from the first object, the value from the second object, the value of the first object and the value of the second object, that is 40 plus 10, they will get added. So we are going to get 50, and this 50 will be again created as one more object. Okay, this 50 will be created as one more object here. Got it, my point here? So 40 plus 50, 40 plus 10, what is going to happen with this is the object from this location, the value from this object, the value from this object, both are added, and it is going to create a new value 50, and this will be held by one more object internally. Okay, and we're assigning that to whom? A only. Again, we're assigning this result to a. So this is we're trying to do. Okay, so this type of mapping of data, now previously a was referring to 40, the object which is holding 40. Now a is, with this statement we are making a to refer to an object which is holding 50. I'm repeating the statement. Previously a was referring to an object which was holding 40. Now we are making a to refer to another object which is holding 50. Okay, this kind of changing the mapping or change the reference from one object to another object is not allowed for an immutable reference. Is not allowed. Is not allowed. So it will always refer to this only one object. Always it will refer to only one object. It will not change the refer, it will not change its reference. This is called as immutable nature. So they will say that what is immutable? What is immutable? Ante, people say that the value, if we cannot change the value, that is immutable. The answer might be correct, but this is very vague and very unclear answer. So what we have to say is an immutable reference is a reference which we cannot change the reference of it. It will always refer to only one object. The only one object only. We cannot change the reference once reference is created. This nature of an object or nature of an reference is called as immutable reference. So this will be always a will refer to 40 only. It cannot refer to any other object. Got my point here? This. Now one more statement I write here. Some x equal to, after writing this a equal to 20, now I write some val x equal to a plus 10. So I say that this is the invalid statement. So do you say that this is the valid statement or invalid statement? Is it valid or invalid? You have to tell me.
Valid.
Yes, valid. So we are not trying, with this statement we are not trying to change the reference of a, but the value is getting added and that will be referred by a new value called as new variable called as x. That's it. We are not changing the reference. So this is a valid, but this is not a valid statement. Okay, let me show you this in the programming. See here. Here value I is created as a immutable reference. So if I say a equal, not a, sorry, I equal to I plus 40, it is showing an error. So the underline is showing an error. What is saying? Reassignment to val. It doesn't allow this reassignment to that val. Okay, there is a problem with this. But if I try to give the same operation here, some p equal to p plus some 50, it doesn't throw any error. You can see that there is no error here. It is working. So this is going to create mutable reference. This is going to immutable reference. Now we shall try to discuss about this mutable nature. What is the mutable nature of this immutable reference here? That is, if I write somewhere p colon int equal to 10. So what is going to happen internally? The same thing. An object will be created, integer object. That object is holds the value 10, and this object will be referred by p, isn't it? Now when I say p equal to p plus some 20 here, so what will happen with this statement? One more object called 20 will be integer object will be created, which will hold the value 20, and this with this p plus 20, the value from this object, that is 10, and the value from this object 20, 10 plus 20, they will get added. And what is that we are trying to do now? It is going to create one more object. What is that object? It is called as 30. And now this 30 we are again making referred we are making to be referred by p here. Now this will work. This will work. Now what will happen after we assign the we make p to refer to newly created object? The old object, the old reference will be automatically get deleted. Okay, now automatically the other is going to get deleted. This type of nature of the variable is called as mutable reference or mutable variable. We call it as mutable reference. Now p will be created as a mutable reference. Why? Because the mapping or the reference of that variable to an object can be changed. That is called as mutable. Immutable, does we cannot change the reference. Mutable, we can change the reference. That is the difference between mutable and immutable nature of the variables or references. Is it clear, guys, about mutable and immutable? Still you have any questions? If you have any questions, please let me know.
Clear, sir.
Raviteja, Anurag, Naveen.
Yeah, clear, sir.
Fine. It's very, thank you. uh no, it's fine. So this statement says going to be invalid. This is an invalid. This means object has no name. No, object doesn't have any name. Remember that. Only reference the a name will refer to that object. That's it. But object will not have any name. Simply we call it as integer object. What do we call it now? An object created here. What do we call this object created to hold 20? We call it as integer object. Why we call it as integer object? Because it belongs to class called as int. What an object? Generally, if you have idea of object-oriented programming, what is an object? It is an instance of a class, right? I think who have the already idea of object-oriented programming, I am asking, what is an how do we define object? An object is an instance of a class, isn't it? That is the statement we hear about the definition of an object. So here object will be created on the sense that object must belong to some class, right? So what is the class? The class here itself nothing but this int. This is a predefined class. This is a predefined class int, and this is going to create an object of class long here. This 30l, it is going to create an object which belongs to class long. Similarly, it is going to create an object of the class short object, float object, double object, string object, char object, boolean object, integer, and boolean objects. This is how we have to understand about this variable creation and assigning some data to it. Okay, do not use the word value here. 20, 30, 10, all these are the objects. Call them as objects, do not call them as variables, or sorry, not values. Do not call them as values, call them as simply what do you call as objects. Yeah, fine. Hina, is it clear to you now? So just me, let's
Yes, sir.
move this. Similarly, so integer object, and how do we print these values? It's very simple to print these values. How to print them? Very simple to print them. Println the data is, you can write, plus the first variable I, okay, plus I give some space, and plus the second variable, L, not L, plus some space, and plus the next element, sh, plus, and plus f, isn't it? F plus double quotes, let me give a space, plus again after f we have d. So likewise we can print all the variables. Okay, just we can continue with this, and let me compile and run this program. So compile is not required. When we run the program, compilation will be done automatically as part of it. Okay, just simply run demo2. So internal is going to compile, then after it is going to run the program. Got it right? The data is 20, 30, 10, 2.34, 3.453. Likewise, you can add remaining variables also. We'll get the result of all those. Is it clear about this? I've shown you here how to create the variables for different types of data. Is it fine, guys? How we have created it? Okay. Now I will try to show you something called as collections. What is a collection? So with this, how many values I can store with this? How many objects how many values I can store? Only one, isn't it? I can have only one. So this integer object will have only one value in it at a time, not more than one value. So how to how to create an object so that it will have multiple elements in it, So further we go with what? Collections. The simply collections. So how do we create the collections? What type of collections are there? Okay, let me just go with this. So let me create one more program here. New Scala class and choose object, and let me use demo3 here. Let me hide this demo3, and again def main. So it is going to add automatically the signature of it, followed by, now I say val a colon array of int equal to array of 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, next, val l colon, or I use a1, a2 colon, array of string, equal to array of abc, some xyz, comma, some pqr, val a3 colon, array of float, equal to array of 2.3f, comma, 4.5f, comma, 5.6f. That's fine. So what is this now? What are we trying to do with this? So with this statement, what is going to happen? Just now we have discussed. What is going to create internally? Internally, and this internal implies internally, an array object will be created. This is what I'm talking about. What this statement is going to do? This statement is going to create an array object. Array object. Okay, which which holds integer objects. Internally, it is going to create an array object with which holds integer objects. That is array of int. Array is an object. It is going to create total how many objects will be created with this? Totally how many objects are going to be created with this? Can you tell me? How many? How many objects gets created? Six here. Okay, so the outer object is array object. Internally it is going to have six, not six, sorry, yeah, six. 1 2 3 3 4 5, totally 7, sorry, here. An array object is one. There's outer object, external object, and internally it is going to have, that array object is going to have internally six objects, six integer objects. 1 2 3 3 4 5, total we have 7 objects here. Got it now? So similarly, with this statement, what this statement is going to create, it is going to create an array object in which it is going to hold three string objects. It is going to hold three string objects. I'm telling you, string objects. Okay, just you can observe here, array of string, array of integers, and array of float. It is going to create an array object which holds three float objects, that is real objects, real value objects. Clear, guys? How we are able to do this? You must able to understand this. So this is called as what, we can call it as, we are using array here. Now let me show you something here. Val I colon int equal to 40. Now can you tell me what is the difference between this statement and this statement, the second statement? What is the difference between this and this? Yeah. So this is going to create an object internally, an integer object. It is going to create an integer object which can hold only one value into it, that is 40. Okay, Vital is going to create only one object which will hold 40 into it. But what is this statement is going to do? Yeah, integer is a class. That's why integer is a class. Remember, int is a class, array is a class, string is a class, float is a class. So the class name always starts with what? Capital letter, uppercase letter. The class name always starts with uppercase letter. So if you find something starting with uppercase letter, simply blindly say that it is a class. Simply it is a class, that's it, nothing else. Okay, so this is going to hold only one value, but this is going to hold multiple values or multiple objects. So this is the reason we call, multi set of elements, combined, collected as a single object. Here we have six integer objects with this. 6 integer objects got collected as only one object. That we call, there are no such type of collection of data will be called as what? Collections. We call them as what? Collections. What is a collection? Generally, how do you define a collection? Collection is about bringing some set of elements together, collecting some data. I say, I am not getting proper word here, but this is collection is about bringing some group of elements, a set of elements, whatever you may call. So is going to create a collection. So single value, if you want to hold a single value, we can use. If you want to hold multiple values, we have to use one collection. One type of such collections is array here. So there are still many other types of collections are there, but I am trying to show the basic collections here. Okay, the first statement is, this is going to hold integer objects. This is an array of integers, and this is an array of string objects, and this is an array of what? Float objects. Similarly, we have one more object, one more collection here, L1 colon list. List of int, this is one more collection, list of int equal to list of 24 some 23 45 and 43 some 22. The same thing, val L2 colon some double equal to, sorry, list of double equal to list of, we to provide double data 2.3 2.3 comma 4.5 comma some 5.6. Somewhere we have used comma, I think here this must not be comma, this is a dot. 2 2.3 comma 3.4. I think one more bracket is extra here, 1 5 is extra. 3.4 comma 5 comma 6. Similarly, we can have val L3 colon list of string equal to, I can use list of some USA, India, China. Okay, this is what. Got it now? So how we are able to print the data? How we are creating this, what you call as collections. So array, list, we have some other collections are there, still there are some other collections. Let me show you these collections. Val S1 colon sequence of int equal to SUQ of 45 56 some 23. These are sequence is also a collection, sequence and list and array. I'm trying to show you some basic collection that we use frequently in our programming. Sequence, list, array we use frequently. That's what I'm trying to show. And val S2 colon sequence of boolean, sequence of boolean equal to, sorry, this bracket is not, sequence of boolean equal to, so what has to be the values in sequence of boolean? Sequence of, they must be either true or false, nothing else, only two values, either true or false. That's it. Okay, similarly we have one more collection called as map. It is very important. M1 map of int comma, sorry, okay, int comma string. You have to understand, okay, try to understand all this. Equal to map of 1 comma let me say USA, next element 2 comma China, next element 3 comma, let us say some Japan. The map is also a collection. In Scala language, map is also, this is how we create a map here. Map will have two elements in it. each element will have two fields. Okay, one the first will be for the first will element will act as key, and the second element will act as value. Key and value pair. So key and value, every element in map collection map will be a pair. So the first element of the pair will be called as a key, and the second element of the pair will be called as value. Yeah. Any questions in this, guys? In the declaration of the creation of these collections. Any questions in this?
No, sir, we are clear.
Yeah, we'll try to see into more depth about the collections. First, the very first thing is we need to understand about all these collections. Then only we can understand the programming. Very first thing. We have one more they call as R1 colon range equal to range of some 1 comma 100. This is one more collection. Range is also one more collection in Scala programming. Now, there are some hell number of collections are there, but I'm trying to show here almost some 20 collection different types of collection are there. But I'm trying to show you which we use frequently in our programming of Scala and Spark. So range, map, sequence, list, array. These are the various collections that we use in our programming, in our Scala programming. Okay, fine. Got it? And how do we print this data? I would like to print array data. How I print array data here? Just let me show that. So I will try to print the data of A1. How shall I print it? So println. So sorry. Let me print it itself. Println. Println. Array data is. So the first array. I say that array data. A1 array data is. A1 array data is. So how do you print it? Yeah. So we have to use plus A1. Okay, let me use plus A1. Let's see what is going to happen with this. Next to println, the list data is list L1 data is, or let me use L2. List L2 data is. So how do you write plus L2? Next after this, println sequence. The sequence S1 data is. S1 data is where is this one? Plus S1. So should not have comma here. And finally, println. Let me print the content of map. How do you print the first? Before that, let me print the content of this range. The range data is the range data is. The range is going to create the elements between 1 comma 100. That's 1 to 99. Okay, remember this. This range is going to create the set of elements from 1 to 99, not 100 up to 100. 1 to 99. Okay, is plus R1. So instead of using 100, I just let me use some 10 here. So it is going to create the elements up to from 1 to 9. Okay, and finally, how to print the data of map? So to print the data of map, we have to use keys. Okay, the value of first key is, what is the first key? First key is, you address something like this, plus m1 of, sorry, plus m1 of what is the first key? That is 1 here. We have to pass 1. We are going to get the value of that one. Then you print one more. Yeah, the value of second key. Second key is m1 of 2. 2 is the key, and we get the value of it. Fine. Just I will try to run the program. Run demo 3. whether we get the data of all the collections or not. Just try to see it, observe it now. So we got the array data is not displayed properly. There's something issue. So list data is prepared, it is printed correctly. Even the sequence data is prepared correctly. So even though we are using sequence here, it is printed as list. I will explain to you maybe the next session or another session. Even though we are using sequence, why it is creating a list, why it is displaying as list. There is a reason for it. Okay. And the range data, the range R1 data is range of 1 to 9. We gave up to 1 to 9, 1 to 10 here. I think we have 1 to 10, but it's going to create up to 9. And the value of the first element is USA. If you see the map here, this one is key and the USA is the value of 1, and 2 is the key, its corresponding value is China. So the first value of first key is USA, the value of second key is China. Okay, but here the value of array is missing here. It is printing some address here instead of printing that content of it. So how do we print that data is very simple here. So only for array, it is a case for only for array. I will tell you what the problem is there. Dot mk string, mk string of, just use comma here. That's it. Now if you run it, it is going to print the data of this array also. Now you got the data of array also. The array data is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, everything is fine now. This is how we create single value variables and multiple value variables collection. The multiple value in the sense collections. This is the basic collections and the variables I have shown you and about the objects. So in the tomorrow session we shall try to explore more about this collection. Why? Because we work more with collections, more with collections and this data storage. The data is stored in programming language either with variables and collections, isn't it? There's objects in this Scala programming. There is nothing but objects. So we must be very clear about what type of data we can load, how to access the data, everything we have to understand about this. Yeah, is it clear, guys? This session. Any questions still? If we have no questions, let us wind up for the session today, and tomorrow we shall continue the session. Yeah, yeah, guys. Thank you. Thanks for your time. We shall continue tomorrow the session. Thank you.